Hey there, it's Vicki Marie, and today I want to share just a few pieces of wisdom that have really lifted me up when things just felt a little out of sorts or life just felt heavy. You know, those little reminders that make you feel like you can breathe easier or find a bit of comfort in the chaos. Grab a cup of coffee, and I hope this brings you a little bit of peace the way it has me. So let's just dive in today. I want to share just a few things that people have shared with me over the years. Number one, let yourself change without feeling guilty. One of the most freeing things that I've learned is that we don't have to be the same person that we were yesterday. It's okay to grow and to change our minds or even to redefine who we are at any time. Life isn't meant to be lived with a permanent label. Think about it. If you've always seen yourself as the life of the party and now you're just craving some quieter evenings, it's okay to embrace that. You don't need permission. And for me, this has been huge because we often hang on to old habits or self-definitions that don't really fit us anymore. Especially as an empty nester, when my kids moved out, it took me a while to realize like I couldn't use that title, a stay-at-home mom anymore. Like that really got to me, even though I did work from home in my home office. A lot of people just saw me as a stay-at-home mom, and I was always the mom that was at school and picking up kids and being the taxi and taking them to all the practices and all of that, and the homeroom mom and on the PTO and all of those things. People always saw me as a stay-at-home mom, and that's really sort of how I saw myself, even though I was working sometimes 5 hours into the night to get my clients, to work with my clients. I always worked my job around my kids. I was a mom first. I really thought, well, that's my vocation. That's how I saw it. And then when my kids became adults, that was a label that I had put on myself for so long, and I had to redefine that for myself, and it took me a while. Number two, it's okay to make life a little more comfortable for yourself. Like I used to feel really guilty for making my own life easier, like taking breaks when I needed them, or just making small changes to feel more comfortable. Sometimes I even set my day up just around when I know I'm going to have the most energy. Now, if you're someone who tends to push through and not stopping to say, hey, maybe there's an easier way, well, maybe give yourself a break. I found that it really does make all the difference. There is no reason why we have to make life harder for ourselves, harder than it needs to be. We can make little adjustments through our day that make it a little more manageable. But it does take being mindful. It does take being self-aware. And you do have to pause during your day and ask yourself things like, is there an easier way? How am I feeling right now? How is my energy? Halfway through the day, sometimes I'll pause and say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how energetic am I? And sometimes I'm at a 3, being like 1 being the least, like no energy. I'm at a 3. But because I said I was going to get something done, I push through until I'm exhausted. That is a way I operate, and I have for a long time. And Dawn will come in and say, you are pushing yourself. And there's no reason. There's no deadline other than the one I gave myself. So I'm renegotiating those deadlines that I make, and I'm making adjustments as I go. And you can too. Number 3, give yourself time to adjust. The big life changes can be overwhelming, and it can take months, even a year or so, to fully settle into new routines. So when I look back on the big changes of my life, like now with John retiring, it's taken me a while to adjust. And even with the shifts, I try to remember that we're not meant to just snap right back into another routine right away. Sometimes we just need a little grace, and I have to be patient with myself. I have to feel my way through this changing time. It's been 5 months. I'm still working on it. These 3 tips can make a really big difference. So I encourage you to think about these and how they might apply to your own life. I hope that these little tips, tidbits, bring a little bit of peace and comfort to your day. And as always, I want to thank you so much for being here. And Your support here on my channel and in our little community here means the world to me. So don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what part of this has resonated with you, or if you have anything to share uh, with the rest of us. I would love to hear your tips and the wisdom that you have learned for yourself over the years. And until next time, take really good care of yourselves. Remember to embrace those little moments of joy in our everyday life. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. Take care.